Welcome back, and you are live with Vanessa's podcast. And today, on this beautiful Monday morning, I will read a play that I'm working on. So I am wrote about 30 pages so far. I usually share all my progress on my Facebook group, A New Day, A New Story. You can join if you're a new writer or a beginner, or you just like to read stories and you want to promote your books or somebody else's book. You are welcome to join A New Day, A New Story on Facebook. So I'm going to start after the first 25 pages, so you cannot be in between the story. So let's go. The play were a big success. The troupe got along great and decided to invite new friends during the week for dinners. The money was coming in and they had invested in material they needed for their unique talent. Catherine wrote the mansion's rules and show for everyone. It was coordinated fairly into weekly columns. Hank's son started to work on a new book of a perfect world. She imagined why being brought back to life. She saw it. Emily brought an electronic piano and learned a few new instruments and worked on composing music, while new villagers that she encountered will show her the way to create online video and establish an online presence. Of course, this year was 3,000. No one will know who they were, but in history books. But history classes were very rare in year 3000. Information was obtained by ECHO, virtual computer, and the school will not go over 5th grade, and the rest was self-instruct online classes. In your home, it could be in a pub, in a coffee shop, or in conference rooms. The only time you'd meet any of your classmates or teacher would be the time when you had to go get your diploma, or your certificate, or your license, or your degree. Even though this little town was behind the rest of the world's technology, they were still using GPS, video alarm system, watch call, Xbox, Google Play app, and so on. Shakespeare bought new decor sets, new lighting for his stage, new audio system, and even a large movie screen he would use for background landscape. He kept thinking, if I had this back in my days, I would have been able to create many more plays. I would have been saving so much time. Charles Baudelaire invested in an editing software and a grammar program. He wanted to write new poems. He was so inspired by this town and its people. Picasso was delighted to paint again. All he wanted was paint and brushes. Catherine was going to church every Sunday with Emily, and they were adjusting just fine, until one day something changed. A newcomer was to come in between the new and improved life. This man was 55, 400 pounds, and half blind. His skin was rough and very dry. His eyebrows were in the shape of rectangle branches, and he looked like he had seen a ghost. He looked petrified. He appeared one morning on the floor of the kitchen. He had a dirty, long, blonde hair, wearing nothing but a grey robe. Emily was the first one to come across him. She was heading to the fridge when her knee kicked against his leg. She fell on her back, but he held his hand under her neck, ready to catch her fall. She screamed, "Ah! Who are you? What are you doing here? Who let you in?" He had no idea how he landed on the floor. He'd never seen a house so sophisticated before. He remembered only one thing out of all his existence. He remembered sitting on the toilet reading a magazine about suits and tie in his 3-bedroom, 2-bath condominium in Manhattan. He heard a big sound like an old church bell ringing. He wondered then, what the hell is this? The sound kept coming from his front door. He figured some teenager were playing a prank on him. So he got up, opened the front door, but the sound stopped immediately. He didn't think much of it, went back to his bedroom, got dressed for his informatic code engineeristic job, where he was a supervisor and a chief there. He wasn't liked by many. In fact, no one liked him. Everyone pretended to like him. He was the one to give them their paycheck. The manager was never in town and left him in control most of the time. So please bear with me if anybody is listening. Thank you for being so supportive. As I'm reading, I wrote down everything on paper like the old-fashioned way. When I get inspired, just write everything down really fast. And so trying to reread my reading when I write fast kind of hard, so that's why I'm making a few mistakes. So his job included hiring, firing, delivering paycheck, directing the crew, and giving orders. He had 2 secretaries that would follow his every order. He ate 3 donuts that same morning. He ate 3 donuts in the morning, 2 pre-lunch snacks like croissants and cookies. He will then go to a Chinese buffet every lunch and sometimes a steak restaurant if he had clients to meet. After lunch, he will have a few sweet digestive drinks, head back to work by 2 p.m. and usually check his email and take a nap until 4:30 p.m. Most days, his work task will be accomplished between 9 to 12 p.m. and the rest was simple staff supervision. So he'll walk into employees' cubicle and ask the men and manipulate them into submission. Nobody tried to talk back. He fired more people in a year than he hired any. Having a job in this company, it's a very expensive coffee shop, was a high pay and benefits, including vacation pay. And anywho, let's go back to when he found himself on the kitchen floor. So he tried to remember the exact moment before his memory collapsed. He was eating his third donut, and that's when it happened. He choked, fell on his back, and had a stroke. Woke up, and he was sitting like a monk on this cold, hard floor. He asked, "Where am I?" Hanson answered, "First you answer my question." He said, "I don't know. I was eating breakfast at home. I choked on a donut. And when I opened my eyes, I found myself here." And she looked at him and said, "Wow, oh my God, You were brought back from the dead, just like us, like all of us. He looked at her with surprise. She looked like a snob, middle-aged, dark-skinned, angry woman who appeared to be so angry that he didn't want to upset her. In any way, she elaborates. Me and all the people in the mansion had unfinished missions in this life. In all our life, we either died in agony, suffering, or unfairly, or forgotten, and never truly had the chance to enjoy success or the fruits that we planted. We were fighter, survivor, and honest, kind soul who brought justice to humanity. He looked at her with questionable look, with one of his partial blind eye, and said, "But me, I am not a good man. Nobody likes me. I fired so many people. I hurt and exploit employees' job performance, and I killed myself over donuts. I have been eating for 10 years like a pig. I have been drinking and sleeping most of my days instead of working. I am not courageous. I am not a good soul. I don't deserve a second chance." Hansong ran to wake up the others. "Everybody, kitchen meeting right now." Everyone could tell this was very urgent in the tone of her voice. Within less than 2 minutes, they all appeared and stood right there and asked her, "What?" Emily had her hands out to the crippled man on the floor and asked, "Hello there, are you lost?" The old man answered, "No." Hansang explained everything to everybody. Picasso was frustrated. He could not stand fat people, and he yelled, "There is no space, there is no extra bedroom in this house for him." Charles and Shakespeare, after hearing that, offered to share their bedroom with the old man. And I'm going to stop at that, because if anybody try to follow my bad reading, I will be lucky. But anyway, just reading what I've done so far keeps me motivated. So, and I'd love to keep update with all the supporters and the people who have been there with me all the way since I started the group and my page and the company. So for that, a little bit of music, and I will say goodbye. Let's see if I can find something really good.
Let us begin.
Sorry for that commercial. Okay. Let's put some Ed Sheeran.
The club isn't the best place to find the lovers, so the bar is where I go. Me and my friends sat at the table doing shots, tripping fast, and then we talk slow. Come over and start up a conversation with just me, and trust me, I'll give it a chance. Now take my hand, stop it, and the man on the jukebox, and then we start to dance. And now I'm singing like, girl, you know I want your love. Your love was handmade for somebody like me. Come on now, follow my lead. I may be crazy, don't mind me. Say, boy, let's not talk too much. Grab on my waist and put that body on me. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead. I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling too. I'm in love with your body. Last night you were in my